My daughter's all grown up, and the family is at the table getting ready to eat. She says that she invited her boyfriend over for dinner. Boyfriend? What boyfriend? I say with an absolutely disgusted look on my face. Before she can explain, the doorbell rings. I go to open the door, and then I'm going to be ranking fictional characters that I would allow to date my daughter based on their personality, how they can carry themselves, as well as the standards that they set for themselves. Starting with Prince Zuko. Right off the bat, I'm gonna be asking, why is this motherfucker so depressed? I would be pretty concerned. But then I feel like after hearing about his past a little bit more, I would sympathize with him. By the way, this is Zuko post season 3, not season 1 Zuko. That would be like a I can still fix him type of situation. But seeing that this young man has gone through a journey of bettering himself, I would allow him to date my daughter. I'm gonna put him in the low A tier. I would still be a little bit concerned about his past as well as his temper, but I think the more refined version of him would be fine. Next we have Tyler Durden. Now, there's 2 ways this can go. We'll start off with the bad one first. Tyler knocks on the door, cig in his mouth, blowing smoke out of his nose. I slam the door as hard as I can. My daughter begs me to let him in, and I give in because that's what girl dads do. We're at the table, and Tyler starts monologuing about masculinity and the war on men and the problems of consumerism and all that. Now, my son's hearing this and thinks that he's the coolest person that he's ever met. I can see why my daughter chose to be with him, as he is an attractive man with a good physique. However, he's a walking red flag, and I just know that it's not going to end well. The other way that it could go is that Tyler was just a figment of my daughter's imagination, and she was hallucinating after being sleep deprived from her college classes, aka the good ending. I'm putting Tyler in the F tier. There's no way that I could let that happen. Moving on, we have Tony Stark. Now again, if this was early MCU Tony, absolutely not. I'm straight up calling the military to take him out because bro might start flirting with my wife too. But if this is the more mature version of him in the later phases, I would assume that he's a hardworking man that runs a multi-billion-dollar company. I would automatically know that my entire bloodline would be financially stable, and I'll be retired if I can stay on his good side. That being said, he is a bit of an arrogant person. I can already see him saying some bullshit at the dinner table that would make my eyes roll. As long as he could keep his alcohol problem under control, I think he'd be a decent fit. I'm putting him in the low B tier. Next, we have Shrek. Now, I'm gonna be judging books by their cover, because this is a stinky ass, chopped ass man. Satanic levels of stench, and just a disgusting looking creature overall. Then, that's where I get thrown off, because as we start talking, he's the most kind, respectful, and loyal person that we've met so far. Almost too good to be true, but I ultimately give in as he completely shocked me by showing how cool of a guy he is. Now that being said, I am concerned about my grandkids. I just pray that they don't end up being as cooked as their father. Other than that, I'm putting him at a high A tier. I just think he needs to work on his hygiene and his social skills, but I know that he won't let anything happen to my daughter. Next up, we got Patrick Bateman. Yeah, I'm moving my family to a different state, entering myself in a protection program, and hiring bodyguards to protect us while we sleep. Let's assume that I don't know anything about him. I will first see someone who takes care of themselves, well groomed and all. I'll also get a sense of security knowing that he works on Wall Street. But as soon as the conversations get longer and longer, I'll start to pick up on a lot of red flags. Insecurities, narcissism, and it's definitely gonna get awkward when he has those long pauses of internal monologue. Just very erratic behavior. He's going in the F tier, no question at all. We get to our next guy, which is Steve Rogers. Steve is going to be very respectful, using verbiage like sir and ma'am. He's going to be one of those guys that gets along with me instantly, causing my daughter to be embarrassed, as he'll be more of an old soul and have some of that boomer humor that we all love. Steve's going to be telling the family all about his war stories, to the point where my daughter has to force him to leave. He's insanely strong, has a solid government job, and is very respectful and kind. I'm putting Steve in the S tier, one of the few to completely win me over so far. Next, we have Luigi. Now, as soon as I see this distinguished gentleman at the door, I already know he's valid. I mean, come on. We have a Japanese Italian tank of a man, and he brought some cannoli to really win me and the wife over. He's nice, humble, and above all, he's courageous, because even though he's absolutely terrified of ghosts, he still shows up because he got that dog in him. We also know that he's a hardworking blue-collar guy, as he's mastered the trade of plumbing and has his own business with his brother. Luigi's going in the S tier. He's going to be able to protect and provide without a shadow of a doubt. Our next candidate is none other than Bruce Wayne. So here's how this would go. Bruce comes in, Lambo parked outside, just radiating aura. He's charming, respectful, and very articulate. He's got all the boxes ticked off until his phone goes off, and he says that he needs to leave as it's urgent. My daughter tells me that he does this often, which raises concern of what he's really doing behind closed doors. Financially stable? Sure. Emotionally available? Not at all. My daughter would be well off, but it wouldn't be a great relationship, as he would barely be there for her. I'm gonna put Bruce at a low C. We move on to Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's a blacksmith, pretty calm and reserved, and he's got a wicked goatee. However, he does go to sea for long periods of time, so I don't know how the long distance thing would work. I'm gonna have to give him a B. I just don't know if he's gonna be there when it matters the most. Lastly, we have Christopher from The Sopranos. First thing I notice when he walks in is that he's absolutely coked out of his mind. He's also gonna be pretty vulgar, as he's gonna be making some inappropriate jokes that he thinks is normal due to the people that he surrounds himself with. He does seem like he's doing well for himself, but he gets a bit defensive when I ask him what he does for a living. Knowing that he's lying, I'ma put a hit on him, saving my family from harm's way and making sure that Luigi is the only Italian on this list that my daughter sees. Chris is going in the F tier. He's too dangerous to trust. There you have it. These are fictional characters that I would or would not allow my daughter to date. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Again, thank you guys for all the support, and until next time, goodbye.